Hi everyone, it's Mariah here. I had a request to talk about our UltraPro cookware, so I thought I would come on and just say a few things about the features, benefits, and why this can really have an impact on your kitchen, or really a lot of people you know, maybe their kitchen as well. So this is the UltraPro cookware. It does go in your oven or your microwave, so it is cookware. You could of course store stuff in it if you really wanted to as well, but it's designed to be cooked in. So the major difference, I'm going to go over a few of the major differences with you about why people really love this. And the major thing is that it is so lightweight. So I've got here just a collection from my cabinet. Of course, I've been in Tupperware for a few years now. I have a big collection of this stuff, and there's more than just this available as well. But I have a collection here. It's about one lasagna pan, a couple lids, and it is so lightweight. So this whole stack probably weighs as much as one Pyrex dish. Before I got the Pyrex out of my kitchen, because they're not in here anymore, I don't need them anymore. But before I got them out, I did take a picture, and if you guys want to see the picture, I can show you the difference between this stack and two Pyrex, like 9x13 kind of Pyrex dishes. It's like half the weight of those 9x13s. So it's absolutely unbelievable how lightweight these are. And that's with the stack. But you know, if you're just using one, it feels like a plastic bowl would, right? And that might not make a difference for everybody. Some people, you know, if you love working out, if you're young, if you don't have joint problems, maybe weight isn't an issue for you, but for many people it is. And if you're lifting from up high or down low, it can affect your back, right? So many people, the lightweight thing is absolutely huge. And that's of course when they're empty, but when you get food in them, compared to a Pyrex, it's that much different that it's lighter, right? So they're also non-stick, and that is huge too, because compared to Pyrex, they're obviously lighter. The only thing that might be this light is like an old aluminum roaster or metal roaster. Those are pretty lightweight too, but they are not non-stick, you know, and if you've had the experience of scrubbing at a sink with those old roasters, you know they're not non-stick, but these are. So whatever you put in them, it will just pop right out, and you won't have to stand there scrubbing and scrubbing. So it's absolutely amazing that way. And they nest together. That would be the next one. So they don't take up a ton of cabinet space. Everyone's kitchens usually can use more space. I've never met one person in my whole life that said, I have too much cabinet space. So these nest together and it's not going to take up a lot of space. You don't have that huge collection of dishes here, dishes there. It's not going to take a lot of space. So another feature about UltraPro is you can stack them to cook them. And so I have a few different dishes here. They're all nestled together, but this is a smaller casserole dish here. And they all have a lid. So if you didn't know, they always come with a lid, and the lid would usually go on like that. So you don't have to use aluminum foil when you use this cookware. Aluminum foil is no longer going to be needed in your house, because if you need to cover it up, you can cover it with the lid. But the cool thing about this is the lid is actually designed to be cooked on as well. So if you want to, you can put it like this, and you can put, like I often put garlic bread or veggies on here, and you can roast just like that, and whatever you're cooking is still going to be in here. So if you have your casserole and you want something else to go with it, you can cook right on there, right? And I actually use the lids, the big lids, like these lasagna pan lids. I use these all the time to cook stuff on. Like, it's one of my main dishes that I use to cook stuff in the oven. Because it's got such a nice lip on it, you don't have to worry about juices running away in your pan. Like, I do use the sheet pans with the silicone mat on them, but then sometimes the juices get underneath the mat and it's just harder to clean. So this is one of the main things that I will cook and roast things on in my oven, is just this lid. But the stackability aspect really comes in with the lid. So if you have multiple ones, you can stack them like this, and it's designed to be cooked like this. So if you take out some oven racks and you have multiple UltraPros, you can just stack it up in your oven, which is pretty cool. And right now, I think we have the Super Stack available from Tupperware, which actually has just that capability in it. So I often cook like big meals where I have multiple things going on in the oven here. So if you wanted to, like if your lasagna pans, this is the lasagna pan. If it's too small for your family, or maybe you like to make a freezer meal, you could just you could stack these up in your oven. You're going to fit two side by side, and you can cook a whole lot of stuff in your oven all at one time. So I absolutely love that. Another fun feature about these pans, they actually cook your food faster. And the main reason for that is, well, there's two main reasons. But number one, you don't have to wait for that thick casserole dish to heat up. Because how it's going to heat in your oven is first the dish heats up and then the stuff inside heats up. But this doesn't take nearly as long to heat up. So it heats up much faster, which means the food inside heats up and cooks much faster. But there also is just a little bit of a convex bottom. So it's got just a little bubble inside, which is really hard to show in the video, but you can kind of see how it raises up in the middle. And that helps it so when it's cooking your food, it can get over or under and to the middle of your food quicker. So if you're cooking this as like I said, the lasagna pan or casserole pan, let's say your lasagna usually takes about an hour in this size of pan. In this dish, it will probably just take 45 minutes. Like you can knock off 10 to 15 minutes of cook time because of these pans. So if you first get one, make sure you take note of that because you might cook it for the full hour, it might overcook a little, and you're wondering, well, what happened? Why didn't this pan work out? It's because it was just cooking so efficiently. So that takes less time for you, but it also takes less money because it takes money to heat your oven, right? That takes electricity. So that's a cool, fun feature. But you can also tandem cook in them. So these are safe for the oven, which is what I've been talking about, but they're also safe for the microwave. So this big one, it might be a little hard to fit in many people's microwaves, but these smaller ones are often the ones that I use in my microwave. So they are microwave safe if you, for some reason, can't use your oven, maybe you don't want to turn it on in the middle of summer, you can use this and just cook in your microwave. But what tandem cook means is you can cook it in your microwave to get it started and then put it in your oven. So if you want to save yourself time, things always cook faster in the microwave, you can get it started in your microwave and then take it and pop it into your oven to maybe get that extra crisp on it or however you like it. So that's the tandem cook aspect of these. That is totally different. Of course, many other cookwares probably are microwave safe, but they're not as easy to go in between. And these are also freezer safe. So if you like to cook your extras, you can pop them into the freezer. And when you go to pull them out again, it is safe for these to go from the freezer to the microwave to the oven. Whereas most cookware, the glass ones especially I'm thinking of, you can't just take it like one place to another place without having it risk to crack. My cat just ran into my tripod, so luckily it didn't fall over. So a few other things to mention about these if you don't have them. So I've got a ham. I'm going to be cooking a ham today. So I just want to show you guys how I would use it. So number one, you could just cook your ham probably like in this dish if you wanted to, the lasagna dish. It's going to depend on how big your ham is. But this is my ham. So you could cook it just like this, but I usually like to cover my hams. So again, I could use this and maybe cover it, but because it's bigger, I'm actually using the lasagna pan as the base. And then these things, the bottoms are also designed to be flipped up, and you can use this as a top. So this is how I'm going to cook my ham for supper tonight, which is pretty cool, right? So it's designed to use all these different parts. You can mesh them together and mix them together however suits you best. So pretty cool, and I absolutely love my UltraPro. Like this is what I use all the time in my kitchen, you guys. So if you have any questions, please do drop them in the comments. Something else I will tell you, if you have these in your kitchen already, is please don't use metal in them. They are not metal safe, metal utensil safe, especially knives. If you get tempted to use a knife, this is usually soft, especially when you pull it like right now. They're pretty hard, but when you pull it from your oven, it can be a little soft. If you go and you slice it with metal, it will slice into this, and that will make your heart sad. Another thing is don't use the broil function. So these do have on the bottom of every single piece of it, the lids, the base, it says what they are safe to. So they are safe to 482 degrees Fahrenheit and minus 13 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's the rating system. But when you pop it into the broil is often 500, if not more. So that can cause bubbling on the top of your dishes. So don't use these under broil. And in the same way, when you're going to put in your casserole or your ham or whatever it is, preheat your oven and then put the UltraPro in. Otherwise, that preheating cycle is often more than 482, and it's going to overheat your UltraPro, and again, that may cause bubbling and damage. So those are my 2 tips for you guys for care. Other than that, they are so easy to take care of. They're dishwasher friendly, which again, not all metal cookware is, right? But these are dishwasher friendly and so handy and lovely. So this is how I'm cooking my ham here. Just thought I'd pop on and show you guys, and drop any comments or questions below, and I will do my best to get back to you guys.